Gazza, how you going?
Good, very good.
Great to see the car.
Yeah.
How long you had this one for?
I started off in 1980. My friend started to build it and he went to Port Crowley to live. I took it over. I built it. Drove it for 22 years. The wife used to panic because I drove it all the time, brought me a new use. So I sold it back to him.
Fantastic.
16 years later, he had to sell it, unfortunately.
It's idling so well.
I thought I'll get it back.
Brilliant. Lovely.
3 years ago it was flooded, so I went up and cleaned it up and spent 2 weeks on it.
Welcome to another episode from the Macedon Rangers and District Motor Club.
That's to give to Brian. That's a tappet adjuster.
That's a tappet adjuster.
Tappet adjuster for FXFJ.
And Brian owns that, does he?
No, I own it, but I'm lending
You're lending it to Brian?
To Brian. Well,
so how does that work?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Brian. I don't know. That's for the master cylinder.
So these are FXFJ tools?
Yes. That's for the master cylinder. So I said to Brian, I'll leave them over to your place. If I want them, I'll come and get them. So I won't be using them.
But does that mean Brian's going to corner the market in...
Yeah. And that's only for the...
Harmonic balancer?
Harmonic balancer, yeah.
Well, again, these would be highly sought after, Barry.
Yes. And I've also, the hub puller must be at Brian's place. He's got a hub puller too. Whether it's at home or at Brian's, I don't know.
So does anybody know how these work?
Brian does.
Does he?
I haven't asked him.
I like the name.
Yeah. Cock's head. Gave it to Brian.
All right. Can you explain that, Michael?
Why would I explain it to you?
What is it?
It's for adjusting the backlash on your rocker arms.
On any particular car?
I assume cars that don't have hydraulic lifters, where you've got the adjustable rocker pins. Yeah, and that's the lock screw. So there you go. That's what I think it is. And that's for these kind of people.
That's correct. That is specifically made for Holden FXFJs.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know that.
I wouldn't know that either.
But I wanted Brian, because it's going to Brian, I wanted Brian to give me his full technical explanation.
That's all I would have.
But what you said is probably more than enough.
What's that? I don't know. It's undoing something.
Brian.
Yes.
What is this?
What is that?
Can you explain it to me?
Yeah, that looks like a tappet adjuster.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm told it's for a specific car.
That I can't tell you, but I know it's a tappet adjuster. Could be a Holden Grey Motor.
Yeah, you get 100 points.
Oh, thank you. Where'd you find that?
That is for you, apparently.
Oh,
it's on
yes.
loan. It's on loan to you.
Oh, someone promised to give me one of these, and I said, okay.
So it's on loan to you from Barry.
That's right, Barry, yes.
FJ Holdens were manufactured with a blue background on the speedometer, so you got the red needle with the blue background and the numerals around the periphery of it.
Yes.
Now the FX, the previous model, had a green centre on the speedometer, and the two instruments, the trouble light cluster and the petrol gauge, were also green. When the FJ came into production, they changed the colour to blue. When I got my car, which was in August 1953, that's a couple of months before the FJ came out, it had blue instruments in it. So I made the remark to somebody, it's been changed. Someone's put FJ instruments into it at some time. No, they hadn't.
That was in the transitional period.
It was in the transition period,
yes.
And General Motors had a potpourri of some green, some blue. And they'd started running down out of greens, and of course the cars are coming down the assembly line, so the assembly workers grabbed whatever they could and put it in the car.
Yes.
So they didn't distinguish about colour. They weren't worried about it. They just wanted to get their piecework rates. So they didn't quibble. They put the blue ones into several FXs.
Yes.
Because the green one had stopped being in production because they were made in England. Not many people realise that.
What?
Automotive Components, the manufacturer, is a British company, so they had to order the speedometers and the instruments from the UK, and of course in those days it was all done with faxes and teleprinter messages.
Yes.
So it's very hard to get an accurate changeover. So it's difficult for General Motors to estimate when the last FX would be built and the first FJ, which should have been by rights on the same day.
Yes.
So they would predict when they would no longer require green speedometers. But of course they probably were a bit over-optimistic, and the FX didn't go out of production as quickly as they might have liked.
So those instruments, were they made by Smiths or somebody?
No, they're made by AC, Automotive Components. It's another company altogether. Smiths is a separate company again.
Okay, so they Automotive Components made them for Vauxhall or made them for General Motors?
Made them for General Motors, most likely, and that one was contracted for the Australian car. That doesn't appear anywhere else. That's just in the FX FJ. If you open it up mechanically, it's the same as the late pre-war Chevs.
Yes.
Buicks and Oldsmobiles. They've got the same mechanical speedometer, but with a different face and needle. But it's the same size and the same mechanism. But AC made them after the war.
Oh, brilliant.
In Australia. Yeah.
Now, the indicator stalk,
Yep.
is that a factory sort of...
No, that's an aftermarket one. These didn't have any turning indicators, and it was up to the owner to if they wanted them, to put them on.
So how did you indicate where you were going?
Put your hand out the window. That was part of the driver's licence test. You had to put your hand out like that for stop, and your hand out that for a right-hand turn. For left-hand turn, you couldn't, of course, but you had to ease. You were expected to, in advance, ease over to the left-hand side of the road, slow down, and then go around the corner, stepping down a gear as you did it. You had to do that for your licence test.
Yes.
And that was considered safe enough and enough indication that you intended to turn left.
Yes.
Dangerous as all get out, of course.
Well, it's a different era, though.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's interesting, Gary.
These are in many ways an FX carryover, because that straight off the FX, it's still got the ivory finish on it. You'll notice the headlight switch and the choke knob are white, as is the gear shift lever knob.
Yes.
That's all a carryover from the FX. They had
The same
thing.
Yes.
What they call ivory finish. It's just white plastic, of course. It's not exactly a plastic, but it's kind of a Bakelite plastic.
Yep.
Because it's early 1950s, and the brake handle as well.
Yep.
But with the FJ, they went to black. So if you bought an FJ Special, they were black.
Okay.
And the gear shift lever had a nice chrome ring in the middle of it.
Okay.
It's got a chrome ring where it meets the rod.
Yes.
But the FJ, the Special, the sedan, had two. But a standard sedan,
This here
that's FX as well. Yeah, same. Yeah, it's a
looks
carryover.
like the old sleeve arm.
It does. Oh yes, for holding your shirt up.
Yeah, it's got that look about it.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. What do they call those again? I'm trying to remember.
Armbands.
Yeah, armband will do. It's got a specific name, but
Yeah. And
This is nice. Starter button. Yeah.
starter button.
Yeah, that went through
It's
both
funny.
models. Yeah.
Funny, that even today they're
Going back to it.
They're going back to the concept of a starter button. Yeah.
After all these years. Yeah. General Motors did some funny things. These, the FX and the FJ, had mechanical clutches, and then the next model had a hydraulic clutch.
So
And for years they persisted with that. Then suddenly they went back to mechanical clutch about 1969 for a few years, then back to hydraulic again.
So these are mechanical.
Yes.
Okay.
Mechanical clutch.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thanks for that, Gary.
No, that's me.